Good, man. Shoot, I'm first off, I'm really glad that we could follow up on the last conversation. I interviewed you when you were dropping the whiskey joint with more
Yeah, I
than
knew you
money
looked
back.
familiar. Yeah, but we
Yeah,
had a good conversation that time.
for sure,
Yeah.
man. So I'm glad to see that a few of the things we were talking about, developed a little bit more. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I know this gonna be a good conversation. First thing I wanted to get into before we start everything, because I didn't ask last time.
Uh-huh.
Tell me the origin story of the running back turbo tagline. Like, was it an idea you already had in mind, or was it just an accident that was just at the right time from a recording session?
Well, I'm actively in the middle of something with that, so I don't really want to talk about it until, I really get on top of that, but
Got
it's a good story.
bet. Okay, bet. I'm gonna definitely follow up with you on that one. All right, so I know that you and Gunna was just at the Unrivaled game. You feel what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Premiering that new Classy Girl joint
Yeah.
that's about to be coming out. When you are premiering, your music within a public setting, especially something like a basketball game, where you want to just sit back and like feel the vibe for yourself, or you looking around to see the initial reactions of people hearing it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a producer, so it's like I always like to just look around and just like see who bobbing their head, you know what I mean? Like how they vibing to it or whatever. Like, so I mean, in that instance, we was just like super duper chilling, you know what I mean? But
For sure.
usually I'll just be kind of peeping the scene and just seeing. I just feel like I already kind of know what this song is. So, at this moment, I feel like women need this song. So I don't really got to check the temperature too much.
Look, I was just telling them, I was just telling you people that like, some things are made for the club, but this one right here is perfect for the day party. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to hear this at the day party. Everybody then just got done eating. We hit the dance floor. This is one of the ones you gotta hear where the sun's clear out. You feel
Yeah.
me? So for sure, before we get into the record, I did want to also ask if just based off of you being out the game, if you could pick any women's basketball player to possibly make a cameo on a visual for a Turbo and Gunna song, who would you think is perfect for it and why?
Yeah, I mean, I think Angel Reese, you know what I mean? Like that's like one of the homies, you know what I'm saying? And like she gives me classy, she been kind of handling herself well since she just been in just like college and just like the WNBA and all that stuff. So,
For
if
sure.
I had to pick somebody, I'd definitely pick her.
Absolutely. Okay, I figure I asked. You feel what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
saw y'all was chilling about there. I know the unrivaled games be going up. Them
Yeah.
303 be going
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that was turned. That was a good experience.
For sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into the record, man. I'm curious to know where was the environment and setting that inspired the record? Because you had said on the 101 album that was kind of inspired by the stint y'all were doing in Miami when y'all was
Mhm.
around the beach and in the middle of the ocean recording on the water a lot.
Mhm.
So was this Classy Girl record recording in the same environment or was it in another space?
Yeah, we did this actually the morning of my birthday. My birthday is on August 9th.
Oh, this
So that's like middle of the summertime. We was
for
in
sure.
Turks. We was in Turks celebrating my birthday. And me and Gunna just had houses next door to each other. So like I'm not even a morning person, and he called me like 6 in the morning on my birthday, like, what you doing? We just talking and reflecting. And like he like, yeah, I guess the conversation that we had just like was so inspiring. He was like, come over here, like let's do some stuff. And we of course got the crazy house with the crazy, pocket doors and all that, you know what I'm saying?
For
So the
sure.
beach is like right there as soon as you walk out. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just a vibe. And I had kind of already been making music like that, just feeling like in a box and just wanting to experiment and just get out the box a little bit. So, he ain't even let me get 15 seconds of the beat going before he's like, pull it up. Like he got words to it and the rest is
Yo,
history.
that's crazy. Okay, so this is just a spur of the moment but that lets me know that it's, going along the lines of how organic you and his relationship is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Y'all have collaborated on a lot of tracks, but I think this particular one is special because it kind of follows the same lines that y'all kind of had with that joint y'all did, Bachelor. Like that's one of my
Yep.
favorite joints right there. I think
It's
that
fire.
you feel what I'm saying, and I love like it carries that same energy. It definitely being something that the baddies gonna want to hear and stuff like that. And I'm curious to know like given the fact that y'all are going for that feel and stuff, is that something that y'all have kind of been gravitating more towards is trying to release more collaborations that's kind of giving more of a vibe towards the women?
Well, I mean, just getting out of the box. I feel like right now, with just what's going on in music, I specifically wanted to celebrate women. You know what I mean? And I always felt like this was like a perfect thing since we did it, you know. So just even if you just look at the history, like Bachelor was another turbo record, you know what I'm saying? Classy Girl is another turbo record. It's like I always want to just pull Gunna out of the box. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have him in just one box because if you hear the stuff we got on the hard drive, you'll know. You know what I'm saying? And
So,
like
for sure.
something that he might not necessarily can fit on whatever, album he's doing or whatever if he's dropping once a year. It's we sleep in the studio. You know what I mean? So it's hundreds, if not thousands, of songs that we got to pick from just to put on one album. So it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to fit all of the vibes and like the concept of the album and like make it make sense. So with this, you know what I'm saying, when I'm releasing music, it just gives us free range. You know what I mean? To like jump outside the box. I don't want to do something that you heard or something that you expect Gunna to sound like. I want to go completely out the box.
I can feel that. I can feel
Mhm.
that. It's definitely noticeable, but that gives me another question I didn't even think about because I can see how Bachelor was kind of like one of those singles that you might have felt needed to be heard, but it might have not fit all the way with a particular project that might have
Yep.
been in the works and stuff. So, given all the stuff you have in your hard drive, how are you keeping track of everything or knowing when it's the right time to drop something? Like a Lucy, specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hard driving myself, you know what I'm saying? So every song, every real bop, like I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it.
Yeah.
I listen to it on the daily. Like I know what's in the drive. You know what I'm saying? Even from like the unfinished stuff.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like, at the right time, I'm gonna say, yeah, like let's pull this back up. You know what I mean? Because I know we in Miami, we vibing, and this one that we started, a month ago is gonna be perfect to finish right now. So I mean, that's the difference between, a real producer and somebody that's just sending beats and doing stuff. I always wanted to be a real producer, and just with my training, that's what you're supposed to do. Keep up with this music and find the right time to put it out so the people can experience it in the right way.
Okay. All right. Sure. That makes sense. That sounds. I'm not gonna hold you. That sounds a little tiring. You constantly in producer mode, whether you like it or not. Like this, like that's
I mean,
crazy.
I love
Like
it though, bro. Like it's been like this. I love it. You know what I mean? It's like without music, I don't know what I'd be doing.
I can feel that, man. I can, and we hear the passion. You feel what I'm saying? We hear the
Yeah.
passion, and this leads me into my next line of questions. The last time we spoke, we were talking a little bit about the possibility of you following up with another solo project to
Mhm.
put out to the people. I want to know, is this something that's coming more into fruition? Where are you at with it? Got any updates?
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing, you know what I mean? Perfecting it. A lot of times what people don't understand, and that's why I just take my hat off to like all of the other producers that have done it.
Mhm.
When producers put out their albums, it's very political. You know what I mean? And it gets very political, and you got to find a way to navigate through different teams and managers and lawyers, all the stuff that like consumers, you know what I'm saying, people that's listening to the music might not realize. So like for the producers that have done it, like I just take my hat off to them because it's not an easy job just giving people great music. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the annoying thing with just I guess the industry that it's gotten like that. So I just been finding my way and just navigating through it. But the music is the easiest part. You know what I mean? The music is like loads and loads of it sitting on a hard drive. You know, it's just
For sure.
figuring everything else out, the red tape, which I'm fine with, you know, but that's just what's been going on with my album. You know, like it's not just the music. We got to figure out the politics and, you know, how this works with this person and their situation and whatever, however. But, you know, we working through it.
From a producer standpoint, what's the biggest hill that you have to get over in terms of completing a full-length project?
Heal.
Yeah, like what's the biggest challenge you have to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that. Just like you got to think about it. You dealing with a bunch of different artists. You know what I'm saying? And their
Draw different
teams. You know what
labels.
I mean? Yeah, it's just a lot of personality that's like in that whole process. So I wouldn't even call it a heel. It's just you gotta face it face first. When as opposed to, you know, when I'm working with just Gunna or I'm working with Roddy or whatever, it's just like I'm coming in as a sensei, so to speak. Like, hey, this is my vision, this is what I think, this is what I hear for it. I can give you my idea. And you know, it's you dealing with one person, you know. So it's that's the only difference. But you know, the music at the end of the day is what we all love and like what we striving to do, you know what I mean, to give to the people. So like I'm fine with doing the work.
Well, look, hey, that I'm gonna still have to ask this question is because do you ever find yourself wanting to add a couple of verses on your own onto some tracks? Like I know there's something to where you specifically make and have an artist in mind, but I know it's got to be some stuff that you make for your like your damn self, and you like, man, nobody gonna be able to really see this how I see it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's like scratch work. You know what I'm saying? Like I do all type of like writing and just like scratch work all the time. Just like if I got an idea or a melody over a beat that I'm making, I'll record it. You know what I mean, and play it
For
for
sure.
somebody that you know it makes sense for. But you know, just like a verse, like nah. You know what I mean? I ain't really just getting there on some yo son spitting shit. You know what I mean? Like
I feel it.
I ain't on that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So another thing that I wanted to ask you about was, piggybacking off of that Whiskey Whiskey single, we're starting to see a lot more collaborations coming to the woodworks in terms of, country and hip hop. Late last year, saw that Big X Plug said that he was focusing himself on putting out a country album.
Mm.
And I wanted to ask, is that something that we want to see more of in terms of turbo and country collaborations? We gonna get more whiskey whiskeys, or is that something we putting on hold for right now?
Nah, like bro, I literally work every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on new vibes every day. So it's a country turbo, it's a pop turbo, it's a R&B turbo. Like it's just vibes. You know what I mean? I love music. I don't just love trap music. I don't just love one genre. You know what I mean? It's like I
For
love
sure.
music. Period. So yeah, like of course, hell yeah. Like I'm gonna live a very long life, you know what I'm saying, with a very long career of just music, you know what I mean? So I got time.
I can feel that. I can feel that. If you could put it into words, because you definitely are versatile with your sound. Is there a particular bag or a particular visual in mind that you're trying to paint with the sounds that you might be looking to put out this year?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to take you to Wonderland. You know what I mean? Trying to take you to Wonderland, my boy. I ain't even trying to just take you to Atlanta to the South Side. I'm trying to take you to, you know what I mean, Willy Wonka shop, where
I
it's
can
like you wasn't even expecting that. You know what I mean?
I can say that's what you did with the Classic Girl record. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna hold you. As soon as I heard it, it's got a runway model feel to it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like that's what I heard. I was hearing cameras flickering. I was hearing somebody doing a photo shoot. I'm
Yeah.
seeing Vogue magazine covers when I hear Classy Girl. You feel me?
Fire. Fire. I love that.
So I can feel that. All right, so we already got this Classy Girl joint coming out right now. Are we still having a track or two up on the Navy Blue album that Roddy might be coming out with soon?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we putting a button on that right now. You know, I
Okay.
think it might be a few of them on Roddy's album, but yeah, definitely for sure.
Okay. All right. How many tracks did you end up recording with him during that session for the Navy Blue album? Oh, it's one of
Man,
them.
yeah. Like we fight each other in the studio who can stay up the longest. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Hey, yo.
it's a little thing we got going on. So me and Roddy got hundreds of thousands. Well, I'm not gonna say hundreds, but like 100 songs for sure. You know what I mean? Just
For
like in a
sure.
catalog and just like ideas for sure. So, we always just like going on those marathon sessions whenever I got time to just sit with them. We'll bust out, 10 songs on some nothing shit. Like it's good.
I can feel that. I can feel that.
Yeah.
Would you call yourself a night owl?
Yeah, most definitely for sure. I come alive in the nighttime, man.
Bad. So, out of all the artists, who is the artist that's able to keep up with you the most in the studio?
Um, um, yeah, I mean it was Pluto, more than it was Future more than anybody. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow.
Like he gonna do that shit consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like days in, days out.
Yeah,
Um, if I just had to think, but it's not too many people that's just keeping up for real. And not even like in a bad way. It's just like you don't plan to go and sit inside the studio for 24 hours. It just kind of happens and the vibe is just there.
that's true. The Navy Blue album, we already got that covered. Are there any more collaborations we can expect from you dropping this year?
Yeah, a few. I don't want to spoil people's rollouts. You know what I'm saying? But
I,
it's definitely gonna be another one of those turbo run around the world type of years for sure.
that's exactly what the world need, man. Keep us hot while the temperature rise up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
My boy, well, I appreciate you locking in with me for this interview. Can't wait to hear what you got in store, my man.
Hey man, appreciate you, bro. Good to see you again.